Hey everybody, this is Greg Gossett from Gossett Trading and Mentoring Live, and today is Monday, June 21st, 2021. We are in the final hour of the trading day, and we are in the first day of the new trading week. And what a day it's been. I mention this each day, but my favorite time to make the majority of my buying and selling decisions for my swing trades is at the end of the day. And I say this because during the day, the algorithms and the day traders, they are the ones that are in control of the price. At the end of the day, the large financial institutions come in. They are dealing with the most money, the best information, best technology, extremely smart people. They make their decisions in that last hour as we're coming into the close, and I consider those prices, the prices that the large financial institutions move the prices to be the most valid prices to make your buying and selling decisions. I believe it's a long-term edge in your trading. So thank you all for coming today. It's nice to see everyone. I hope that you had a nice weekend. Appreciate you spending your time here. Hope you are learning something and that it's helping your trading and helping your investing. So let's take a look at the markets right now. Currently, the Dow Jones is up 560 points, up 1.68%. Huge day up, especially after having a 500-point down day on Friday. NASDAQ having another strong day today, up 113 points, up 0.81%, and the S&P is up nicely, up 54 points at up 1.34%. So been a wild, crazy week. Lots of gyrations and ups and downs, and wow. Yep, crazy market for sure. So here's the plan for today, everyone. First of all, we are going to run the U.S. legal disclaimer. Secondly, we're going to come back. We're going to take a look at my current positions. We're going to talk about when I bought them, why I bought them, and how I'm going to manage them going forward. I did have a couple day trades today on the Qs and VIX. I'll share those with you. After that, we're going to go over to the board where my students have their positions. We're going to go through each one, and we're going to see how those are doing today. After that, we're going to switch gears, talk a little bit about trader psychology, always my most important segment of the day in this podcast, in my opinion, because psychology is so important in life and so important in your trading. And really, when it comes down to it, trading, psychology really is trading, and trading really is psychology. So I want to spend a few minutes there. After that, I have gone down through my watch list. I have gone down through the results of Kamal's scanner. Real quick, I have 3 requirements whenever I'm looking to enter a new trade. First, I need to look for a confluence and a combination of indicators lining up on multiple time frames. Second, I need to have a good risk to reward ratio of at least 2-to-1 based upon strong support below me and strong and valid resistance and likely resistance above me. And lastly, I need to make sure I have a plan regardless of the type of trade that I take. I need to know what the volatility of the market is. I need to position size accordingly to that volatility. I need to know how many shares of a particular stock to buy based upon that volatility. I need to know what my maximum allowed loss is. I need to know what my end of day stop is. I need to know what my emergency stop is. I need to know where my intraday profit targets are. I need to know where significant overhead resistance levels are, and I need to have a complete trailing stop methodology in place so that if I do have a positive, profitable trade, I have some mechanisms in place so that I don't give back all that profit. All right, so I have identified some potential end of day candidates. I will go through those as we get closer to the end of the day. I'll go through the time frames, look at the risk to reward ratios, and if I find something good at the end of the day, I will go ahead and purchase it right before the market closes. After the market closes, if you have any questions for me, please let me know. I'm happy to answer them. If you need clarification on anything, please let me know. And then lastly, if you have any stock symbols that you would like me to take a look at today, if you'd like my opinion on them, please put them in the live stream, and I will do my very best to get to them before the close of the market. All right, and then lastly, if any of my students have any new entries or exits for me today that they would like me to update on the board, if you could please wait till the end of the day before letting me know, so that way the Market's closed. I'm done teaching. I'm done trading. Pressure's off, and we'll spend as much time as we need. Okay, so hang tight. I'm going to run the U.S. legal disclaimer, and I'll be back in 40 seconds. Thank you.
This video or live broadcast, like all instructional materials produced by Gossett Trading and Mentoring LLC, is created and published for informational and educational purposes only. Please carefully read and/or listen to the U.S. government required disclaimer before watching this video or live stream broadcast. The video link and disclaimer text are located in the description section of this video or live broadcast, here and here. Thank you so much.
All right, well, let's see who is here today. Steve Burns is first on deck. Good to see you, Steve. Hope you're having a good day, my friend. Appreciate you being here. Thank you for everything that you do for this channel, and hope you had a nice weekend. Steve says, hello, traders. I hope everyone is staying safe riding this market roller coaster. That is exactly what it is a roller coaster. Steve says, another Angie bounce under and back over the 200-day moving average. Yes, I think, did I put this down here? I haven't, but I will. That's Angie's list, and we'll get to those when we take a look. David says, hello, Greg and group. Hello, David. Nice to see you. Tony is here. Good to see you, Tony. Hope you had a good weekend. Good to see you back. Gary is here. Hello, Greg and group. Hello, Gary. Miko says, good afternoon, Greg and everyone. Nice to see you, Michael. Hope you and the family are doing well. Kamal is here. Hey, Kamal. Good to see you, bud. Hope you and the family are well. Thank you for everything that you do for this channel. As always, Kamal. I appreciate it, and I know everyone else does. Lava is here. Hi, Michael. Michael says, hello, everyone. Steve says, it looks like DIA bounce at the 30 RSI from the Friday's close. Yeah, I was looking to buy that on Friday, but it closed under 30. Kamal says, I am long BA. Bought it earlier today, and I will update you end of day. Well, let's take a look and see. Where did Kamal buy it? 240.57. It's 244.94. Looking pretty sweet. Kamal sold another 1/3 of Shopify at 1,500. Okay, remind me at the end, bud, and I'll get that all taken care of. Tracy Peterson is here. Hi, Trace. Good to see you. Hope you and Paxton are doing well. Steve says MA currently has a 1030 and 1050 EMA crossover today. Yes, it does. We have that one with the 520 cross. It's been a good day, but we'll get to those in a second. But Steve says that a 1030 and a 1050 are also crossing today, which are valid signals. Tony says the hardest easy money. Boy, I should do a few minutes on that in the trader psychology. I'll tell you, sometimes money comes very, very easy in trading. Sometimes it is just hard. I can't count the times that I thought I will never lose another penny in this market, or I will never make another penny. It's sometimes it's feast or famine. Ava is here. Greetings to all. Hi, Ava. Nice to see you. Hope you're having a good day. Good chatting with you earlier in on Skype. Let's take a little look. See over here. Well, let's get started. Chug. Jonathan, I believe it's Jonathan. Jonathan, I guess I can call him Johnny. Gary, Jonathan, and myself, we did buy Chug, CHGG, double bottom with a bullish divergence, with a false breakout to the downside, and a V1, and a bullish engulfing bar. Bought this at 74.64, moved up to my 1.5 ATR trailing stop level. Then I go into trailing stop mode, had a close below the previous day's low, sold half, locked in half, but we've had a nice new leg up here. Did hit one profit target today at 80.95. It is 0.65% up today, and entry to closing price, this is up 7.27%. Pretty good trade. CMG, David, Kamal, Jonathan, and myself, we did buy Chipotle Mexican Grill. with a confluence of signals here with the V1 intraday rejection of the 250. Bought this at 1343.05, moved 1.5 ATRs from trailing stop. Did have one closed below the previous day's low. Took half profits at 1369, but as with CHGG, we've had another nice move up. Did hit two profit targets today at 1406.86, 1419.49, and very, very close to that third profit target. Have not hit that yet. Be nice if we could, but this particular trade up 6.03% entry from exit. We were just talking about MasterCard, Jonathan, David, Gary, Lilia, Tracy, and Paxton. We did take MasterCard with the 520 crossover. I like the crossover here for a couple reasons. One, it's in the value zone, and two, there was a lot of consolidation. We took the crossover, bought this at 367.72. It's currently 373.23. It's up $5.81. It's up $1.56 on the day. Percent. And it's up 1.51% on the trade. So that one's pretty good. SPY, nice overnight SPY trade after getting whacked between Thursday and Friday, but I did buy the SPY at the close at 414.92 on Friday. Sold this morning for a nice over a couple dollars on the overnight SPY trade. Sold at 416.85, much higher than we were at the open, but that's okay. That is just how this approach works. I will buy this again at the close. I'll take the overnight risk. I'll sell it first thing tomorrow morning. Micro strategies. I still call it monster. Gary, Tracy, Paxton, Jonathan, and myself did have a nice trade here on micro strategies. A deep dip buy of the 200-day moving average. MACD was positive. Good risk to reward ratio. Bought this at 459.21. It has just gone up straight ever since, except today. Last week we did get above the 65 RSI. Today it is down 9.75%, and it certainly looks like it's going to close below the 5 EMA. So I will be locking in profits on this trade from entry to current price up 21.5%. So that's been an excellent trade. I will be closing that out today. Twitter. Nice trade on Twitter back here. Gary and I bought under over 200-day moving average at 52.58. Good risk to reward ratio. Moved up 1.5 ATRs from my entry, then had a close below the previous day's low. Took half profits here at 57.58. Another leg up. It's up 1.73% today. Did hit one profit target at 61.60. Currently, this trade from entry to close 15.15%. So pretty good. Silver. So I made a mistake on this on Friday. I did buy this along with Tracy and Paxton. I bought it at 24.06. Right at the end of the day, we had that sell-off, and I did not know, I did not realize it closed below the 200-day moving average, and I did not get out. I tried to get out after hours, but I couldn't, so I decided just to hold it, and worked out. Did buy it at 24.06. It's 24.11. So it is up slightly. It's up 0.96% on the day, but just up very slightly, just above break even on the trade. All right, so all those really good. I did have a trade, kind of some frustrating trades on the Qs today. I did buy the Qs with this false breakout to the downside, close under, close back over the 200. I bought it at 343.93. 2 bars later on 5 minute, I sold half at 344.15. But then we just came back and closed below the 200-day moving average, which was my end of bar stop. So I made from 343.93 up to 344.15, and I lost from 343.93 down to 343.79. So it was slightly positive on the trade. So I guess we'll look at that as half glass full. VIX, I had a trade on VIX, very similar situation. I did buy VIX here with this higher low intra-bar rejection of the 250. I bought it at 32.38. A few bars later, I did take half profits there at 32.47. And then, I don't know, half an hour or so later, we had a close below the entry of the 250 days. So I made from 32.38, got out at 32.47, got in at 32.38, got out at 32.34. So very similar to the Qs. I made slightly more on the ups than I did on the downs. So I'll just look at that as positive. Okay. So that's it as far as my daily swing trades and as far as my intraday trades. Let's take a look over here at my students' positions. Tracy and Paxton did buy Tesla on Friday at 623.30 with intraday rejection of the 200-day moving average. Tesla's been all over the place today. It was up, it was down. It is up 0.2%, and so it is slightly up on the day, and it is slightly up on the trade. Spotify. Steve bought Spotify on Friday at 248.33. It's currently 245.91. So this is down 0.7% on the day and also slightly down on the trade. Alibaba, Kamal, Jonathan bought Alibaba at 213.87. It's currently 211.29. It is slightly down on the day and slightly down on the trade. Gary also sold puts at $210. The 195 is expiring July 16th for $38 contract. So Gary has protection all the way down to the 200-day moving average. A, B, and B, Jonathan, Gary, and Kamal did buy A, B, and B here at about 143.20. It is down on the day today, but it looks like all three of these traders are up on the trade. SQSP is Steve Burns. Steve Burns bought SQSP back here at 59.76 with the 520 EMA crossover. It is down slightly today, 3 cents, but it is up nicely and probably percentage-wise pretty good. Yes, 5.75%. Clorox. All right, Lilia bought Clorox. False breakout to the downside. Bullish engulfing bar. Bought this half position at 175.47. It's currently 172.71. Always frustrating when you have stocks that are down when the market's up big. So, yeah, I feel you, Lilia. I have definitely been there before, but that is frustrating. But is down on the day and is down on the day and down on the trade. Shopify. Oh, okay. So Kamal's had a monster trade on Shopify. My goodness. Return to value. Bought this at 12.31. It's currently 14.82. It was up much higher earlier. I think it was close to 50 points up. Kamal sold half back here, and I know he sold, a third back there. But this particular trade for Kamal, what a monster. Entry to current price up 17.43%. ARC, David bought ARC with a close under, close back over the 200-day moving average and a V2. Bought it at 118.40. It's currently 119.42. It is up 0.43% today, and it is up on the trade. So congratulations. Uber, oi. All right, so Kamal bought Uber, false breakout to the downside, V2, close above the 200-day moving average, bought it at 49.72, down 2.98% today. That's a big down day on Uber for this kind of day. So anyway, unfortunately, this one is down on the day, and this is also down on the trade. And then lastly, PKI. Steve bought PKI with the 520 crossover. David also bought it with a 520 crossover. Bought it here at 146.10. It's currently 152.36. It is up 1.17% today. And Steve Burns and David are up 4.02%. So way to go. Way to go. Very nice. Steve says SCCO bounced back over the 30 RSI. Oh yeah, that was a tough trade last time. Yes, you are correct. It did bounce back over the 30 RSI. You know, the way that I look at this here, we're kind of in this no man's land. We're below the 200, but above the 250. This is reminiscent to me of what's been happening with Bitcoin. Actually, Bitcoin lost to 250, but yes, under 30, over 30, under the negative third, over the negative third. Steve says, Greg, can you use your charting platform to see what the intraday high was? Yes, 100%. 76.95 is what I have, Steve. 76.95 on SQSP. SKWS, SKWS, SWKS. Oh, that looks pretty good. Has a 520 crossover. I like it in the value zone. MACD looks pretty good. Did reject the 50-day moving average. Let me put this down over here, Steve. And we'll put that on the board and take a look at that when we go through. UTZ bounced off the 200. Yes, it certainly did. Nice intraday rejection of the 200-day moving average, and I believe double bottom bullish divergence as well. Well, not quite, not technically, but yeah, nice little bounce there. Let's look at the weekly. Weekly's under the -1 ATR channel. That's the only thing that concerns me there. Johnson says, hi, Greg and all. Hi, Johnson. Good to see you. Steve says, looks like the dollar found resistance at the 70 on the chart. This could be good for metals rallying. Definitely could be good for our silver. Yep. Definitely rejected the 70, but is holding at the 200. Johnson says ZZ potential to short. ZS, excuse me. Yeah, that one scares me, Johnson. I mean, looks like it went over 70, under 70. Rejected the third ATR channel. On the other hand, we are still holding support at the 5 EMA. I would be much more inclined to short this if there was a double top with a bearish divergence, but this is still pretty strong. I think a lot of dips are going to be bought on that. I don't think that's where the easy money is. Steve says, wow, thanks, Greg. Time to lock in profits there. Good. So you're going to lock them in on SQSP. Yeah, very nice trade there, Steve. Up over 6%, 6.07%. Oh, great. Frank has a poem for us. Always love poem time. Let's put this on there and let's read what Frank has to say. Discipline outweighs conviction. It frees you from uncertainty and market conditions. Whatever your position, goals, or ambition, make discipline the rock of your trading mission. My goodness, is that good? Sounds like it should be in a rap song. Seriously, Frank. Discipline outweighs conviction. It frees you from uncertainty in market conditions. Whatever your position, goals, or ambition, make discipline the rock of your trading mission. All right. Okay. Has anybody ever heard a better trading poem than that? I mean, that's subjective, but unreal, Frank. My gosh. I mean, what a gift you have. And I mean, it's so true. Every line in that poem is true. Can we give Frank a hand on that? That's unbelievable. It's just unreal how good Frank, how you can do that every day. My gosh, you should be world famous. I mean, well, you are in my mind, right? Wow, is that good? Wow, is that good? Whew. Give me a second over here. Take care of a little biz. All right. Lilia is here. Hi, Lilia. Lilia says, hi, Greg and everyone. Hello. Michael is here. I really like today's poem. I agree. Steve says, you are on a different level, Frank. 100% agreed. Let me grab a drink real quick. I feel like I'm losing my voice. Okay. Man, is that a poem? My goodness, unreal. All right. So listen. Before we start taking a look at new potential setups for today for our swing trades, let me just switch gears for a minute, talk a little bit about trader psychology. You know, it's a big thing to me, right? Huge thing, because trading is psychology and psychology is trading. This is from my good friend Thomas Payne at Trader T Payne over on Twitter. Fantastic poster, has a great channel. You should subscribe to him at Trader T Payne. Thomas was a scientist, switched careers, became a trader. But what I like about it, he really brings the nuances of trader psychology into his trading, and also the scientific method of when he used to be a scientist. So great channel to follow. Let's see what Thomas has to say. If you are a new trader and judge your performance based on how much money you make, then you will get mad and you will quit. That's true. If you judge your ability to learn and follow a system, then you may see signs of improvement that give you fuel to stick around until you eventually make money. So true. You know, if you just look at the money you make when you start, you might get frustrated and you might get quit. A lot of people quit trading. They just get frustrated because they're just looking at the P&L. But what Thomas is saying is, don't judge how much money you're making. Judge if you're following your process to the letter. And if you are following your process and you have a decent trading approach, there's no secret, super secret, you know, holy grail trading approach. I mean, it's just risk to reward and buying at supports. I mean, there's a million different ways to do it. Just because I do it one way doesn't mean you have to do it that way. But the key is, if you're using good trading principles, regardless of the approach, judge yourself on if you're following your process. And I promise you, if it's a decent approach with good principles and you're following your process, you will start to see improvements. And as Thomas says, those improvements will give you the fuel to stick with it. And of course, the longer you trade, the better you get. It's just like that with any skill. So let's read it one more time. If you are a new trader and judge your performance based on how much money you make, then you will get mad and quit. If you judge your ability to learn and follow a system, then you may see signs of improvement that give you fuel to stick around until you eventually make money. So if you're a new trader, listen to this. Don't concentrate on your P&L. Concentrate solely on, are you following your approach? And if you're following your approach to the T, you're probably going to do just fine. All right. Thank you, Thomas. That was helpful for me. I hope it was helpful for everyone else. Wow, big day. All right, so before we start looking at new stuff, just let's take a look at current stuff, which is more important. My chug trade's doing very, very well. Doesn't look like I'm going to have to do anything here, hit the one profit target. Chipotle has been a great, great trade. We're at 62.70. We have not quite hit that third profit target. We're not quite to the 65 RSI, so the 5 EMA trailing stop does not kick in yet. Hopefully, if it heads up tomorrow, we'll get a little of that. MasterCard doing very well with this 520 crossover. Again, the reason I really like this trade, everyone, two reasons. One, it's in the value zone. I like to buy stuff in value, sell it above value. Two, we have sideways motion. That's the other reason I like this. Well, three, now we have a 520 crossover, and that was the trigger for the trade. Off of its high, but 3 profit targets here. Did not get to 65 RSI. I don't even know why I'm checking. It did not, but I'm OCD, so what do? I have to do it. Got to 61. All right. SPY, nice little overnight SPY trade. We'll be buying this again today at the close, holding it overnight, selling it first thing tomorrow morning. MSTR, great trade, about 20%. I will be locking it in today with the loss of the 5 EMA. And, when you start to get extended and you get into high RSI levels, that 5 EMA is really a good level to follow. I mean, if it comes back all the way to the 200-day moving average, clearly it's going to have to drop through the 5 or close below the 5 EMA first. So when your trade starts to get extended, a loss of the 5 EMA is a bit of a bad sign, so I will be locking in the profits and taking the profits on MSTR today. Twitter got to about 65 RSI, so I will implement the 5 EMA trailing stop, which makes this a really nice and easy trade. If it heads on up, rejects a 70, I'll sell half. If I sell half with the rejection of the 70, then I get a close below the previous day's low. I'll sell the other half. That's if it heads up. If it heads down, closes below the 5 EMA, I'll lock in the profits on Twitter. And then silver, still in the silver trade with the intraday rejection with the good risk to reward ratio. And so right about even, actually 100% even on this trade right now. So as long as it holds at 200, I will keep it. Okay, well, let's take a look at some things here today. Let's look at Bitcoin. Woof, big down day today on Bitcoin. Anyone want to guess where I would buy Bitcoin? That's right. If I had an intraday rejection of the 250, or if I had a close under the 250, close over the 250, if we do get to the 250 here, we'll probably have that confluence of an under 30, over 30, and an intraday rejection of the 200-day moving average. So that is where I will be looking to buy Bitcoin. WGO. All right. This was pointed out to me earlier today, I think by Ava or by Lilia. I can't remember. I think it was Ava. Earlier in the day, we were back above the 200-day moving average, gives a good risk to reward ratio, but you couldn't stay in this trade long if you don't hold through earnings, because earnings are on the 23rd and they're in the morning. So, if this does close above the 200-day moving average and you decide to take this trade, just be aware that the safer way to play it would be tomorrow at the close, regardless of whether it goes up or down, because Wednesday morning we have earnings. So I don't think I'm going to buy that one. Facebook, we have a return to value sideways motion V1. This is a good example of returning to value, having 1 day sideways motion and a false breakout to the downside and a V1. This isn't too bad, really. I mean, it's not a big day on Facebook, and we're up at the second ATR channel. That's a little bit concerning. But it is over the 50 RSI. It would be a very good risk to reward ratio right to about here if the trade is wrong. So I am definitely considering buying Facebook today with that return to value, false breakouts to the downside, and a V1. Tesla. Well, it is now negative. It it's held the 200-day moving average here for a couple days. I don't like that we rejected this previous high. I don't like that we rejected the 1 ATR channel, and if this heads back down further, we'll have a V1 to the downside as well. So I think I'm just going to take Tesla off the board. Actually, I'm going to take WGO also currently. Love, which is Southwest Airlines. Okay, so look, we have an under 30, over 30. We have an under the negative third, over the negative third, and a close above the 5 EMA. So the question here is, yes, it's legitimate. Is it chasey at 36.58? Let's look over at the weekly. Weekly's holding the negative 1 ATR channel. That is pretty good. I don't like the big bar a few days ago, but we have closed above half, and we may close above the 5 EMA as well. So this one is definitely a potential for me. So currently right now the potentials are Facebook and Love. Etsy did have a crossover earlier, 169.41, 169.41. By the way, if you ever have the two moving averages have the exact same price, it is a valid crossover. In addition to that, we have a nice V1. I mean, we have a lot of consolidation here. This is very likely going to move one way or the other. So I'll just have to look at Etsy a little later to see if that 520 crossover is holding. Right now, it's 169.39 to 169.40. True is truly a nice return to value. We were way above value. We came into value. We've moved sideways, 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 sideways. We had Friday, we had here's bar 1, 2, and 3. 2 washes out bar 1. 3 closes a bar above bar 1's close. Okay, it's a $5 stock, all right? So that's what's concerning me a little bit. But before I saw the price and I just saw the chart, I was like, oh yeah, I quite like that chart. So let's look over on the weekly. Weekly is holding, we had the big up bar. Weekly is holding very close to halfway. I'm probably not going to buy this because it's a $5 stock. Upwork, very nice return to value, sideways motion, false breakout to the downside, and a V1 and a bullish engulfing bar. Ava brought this to my attention earlier. This is quite good. The weekly's good. It's holding the 5, it's holding the 10, it's holding the 20. It's in the value zone. Only thing that concerns me a little bit is we got up to the 1 ATR channel and could not quite get higher than that. MACD did turn negative today. It's okay. I guess that's the best way I should put it. It's okay. AVGO, Lova pointed this out. False breakouts to the downside, under 50, over 50, RSI, rejection of the 50 SMA, and a V1. Pretty good, honestly. I mean, pretty good. On the weekly, it's holding the 50 RSI. It's in a neutral area. Having some issues with the 5 and the 10 EMA on the weekly. But a good risk to reward ratio nonetheless. So I'll bring this over here. Steve brought up Angie earlier. Confluence of signals. We have a rejection of the 200. We have a rejection of the 250. We have a V1. We're back in the value zone. Let's look at the week. Weekly is holding the 50 SMA. So that one looks pretty good. The only thing here is this a little chasey, but probably, if I have to be honest, yeah, it looks a little chasey. SWKS, Steve brought that to our attention earlier. It has a 520 crossover. It's 49.95. It looks like it certainly has rejected the 50 RSI, which is a bit of a bad sign. You don't really need to factor those things in if you're just trading crossovers mechanically, but I do factor that kind of stuff in. So we'll put this over here and we'll try to narrow them down. let's get in a narrow down mode again. Facebook up 0.77% today, which is not huge for the NASDAQ being what it is. I mean, it did return to value, went outside of value, came back down, but held. We are at halfway of the big down bar that was Friday, but really it's technically not that big of a down bar. It's pretty much the size of an ATR. Again, let's look at the weekly. Weekly's holding the 5 EMA. A little high, honestly. I like when the weeklies are closer to the value zone, so I think I'll step away from Facebook. Love confluence of signals under 30, over 30, under the negative third, over the negative third, and possibly closing above the 5-day. I like the weekly a lot. We found support at the -1 ATR channel, so probably love is a possibility for me. Etsy currently does have the crossover. I probably like Etsy better because of the consolidation, the crossover, and the V1, MACD being positive, holding the 50 like a champ. So Etsy right now is probably my favorite. Upwork is really good. I'm just concerned that we're off of our highs near the 1 ATR channel. We had the halfway bar here and we went above it and we've lost it. So that is a little concerning. AVGO. Weekly looks fine. It's a $464 stock. I think we're at 50.36 right now. So what would be important to me on AVGO would be that it closes above the 50 RSI. Angie, again, rejection of the 200 and the 250, false breakout to the downside. If we look at the weekly, holding that, that looks pretty good. It's a $13 stock. So it's a little low priced for me, but we have tested the 200-day moving average. And SWKS currently does have the crossover. Looks decent. It looks pretty good on the weekly. So honestly, right now, my two favorites here are Etsy, SWKS, and AVGO being a pot. So I like Etsy and SWKS the best. Then I like Love and AVGO. But if and only if AVGO, which is Broadcom, can hold above the 50 RSI. But right now, all in all, yeah, I do like Etsy the best. So Etsy and SWKS. Goodness. Etsy. And what was the name of that again? SWKS. SWKS. So the 520 did happen on Skyworks. Etsy, the crossover, it has happened here. I'm not a fan of this 200-day moving average here, but I like confluences. I like the crossover and the V1 all happening in the value zone. That's why I like that one. Johnson says CTSH. Yeah, nice V2. Nice under 30, over 30, under the negative third, over the negative third. Only question here is is it a little chasey? Volume's not that high. I like to see volume up higher on the reversal day than on the prior day, although it's not 100%. But yeah, it's fine. Like it makes sense to me. David says love. Yep. So we looked at love. And that certainly is valid. Under 30, over 30, under the negative third, over the third, and a V2. Like to see it close above the 5-day. Only a 35 RSI. It makes sense. I mean, it makes sense. I like the negative 1 ATR channel. That trade makes sense as well. David says, sorry, did not hear you had love already. Oh, yeah, it's okay. Nothing wrong with a little bit more love, David. You know what I mean? Johnson says, isn't 200 SMA acting as resistance for Etsy? Yeah, it is. It is. For sure. But it doesn't have to be. But, I mean, yeah, I don't like it. I don't like it there, Johnson, for sure. But when I look at the weekly, I like the weekly because we've been holding that 5 EMA. You know, if I bought this and rejected the 200, I could sell a portion there as well. That might be a move as well. But I like the consolidation. I like in the value zone. I like the crossover, current crossover, and I like the V1 with MACD being positive. So, yeah, I would take the chance with this one. My stop on this one would just be here. But really, I'm looking more at the weekly. We have some easy moves to the upside. But yeah, if it rejected the 200, you know, I may step in, take half off, something like that. It was above the 50. Now it's not above the 50. SWKS is also a possibility. You do some math here. SWKS still has the crossover. right, I am going to go ahead and sell MSTR, lock that in. Okay, that's done. So Dow's up 576 points. NASDAQ now up 99. All right. Hang out for a second. Let me change something real quick. I'll be right back. Okay. All right. So now on Etsy, the 5 is below the 20, making that not a valid entry at this moment. So right this second, Etsy is off the table. SWKS is still on the table. All right, so Steve exited SQSP for a 6.49% gain. Nice. After rejection of the 70 RSI intraday. Okay, nice trade there, Steve. Take that one off. Very good trade, bud. Very nice. All right, so we're closing in 5 minutes. Etsy is now back over. So on my end, I'm just waiting to see whether Etsy is going to make that 520 crossover. If it does, I'm going to buy it. If it doesn't, I'm not going to. That's just as simple as that. Upwork does look pretty good. That return to value, false breakout to the downside V1. Looks good on the weekly. I just don't like that it rejected the 1 ATR channel. That's really what it comes down to. right. Looks like Etsy is untriggered now. Etsy is still not triggered. Okay, so Steve exited SQSP for a 6.49% gain. Steve also exited PKI for a 4.14% gain. Very nice, Steve. So I'll get that one. Well, I guess I can get it right here. I'll take care of that one because I have that one as well. I don't want to mess those up. Kamal says HSIC. I mean, it's an under 50, over 50 SMA. It's a false breakout to the downside. It's a rejection of the 50 EMA, but there's no double bottom. There's a double bottom, but there's no bullish divergence there. We haven't closed above. I don't know. I looked at this one earlier. I mean, it's okay, but it wouldn't jump out to me, honestly. Okay, so Steve is long UTZ, the under the bounce at UTC on UTC of the 200. He's also long SCCO with the under 30 back over the 30, and with the UUP resistance being the dollar resistance of the 70 RSI. Steve, SWKS 171 on the 520 EMA crossover. MA, he also bought MA at 373.14. So essentially, Steve bought MA, he bought SWKS, he bought SCCO, and he bought UTZ. So Etsy's going to be a photo finish here. Right now it's still under. Now it's over. Now it's under. All right, it closed under. So I did not buy. I did not buy anything today. Only thing I bought today was the SPY, the overnight SPY trade, and I bought that at 420.86. $20.86 for the overnight SPY, and I did lock in profits on MSTR with the 5 closing underneath the 20. So that was a really good trade, but no new entries for me today. Steve just put his trades in there, and if you are one of my students, go ahead, feel free. put any changes, additions, subtractions that you have to the board now in the chat. And just a few minutes, I'll get to that. Just before I do, I just want to go over 3 quick pieces of business. Just want to remind everybody that I do teach private one-on-one lessons in the evening time via Skype. I teach a really good course. I think one-on-one's the very best way to learn. I teach you all 5 of my different trading approaches. I teach you step by step how to use each one of those, and regardless of what the market's doing, you should be able to use one of those approaches. And like I said, I'll teach you step by step. It's a great course. I've turned out a lot of really good students. It will improve your trading. It is 15 hours, so it's pretty intense. 5 hours each, 5 sessions. Each session is 3 hours. That's where you get your 15. It does cost $1,750, but I think it's worth every single penny because of the one-on-one attention that you get and all the good information that I'm going to teach you. So if you are interested, send me an email. The email's in the description of this video. Just put in the subject line, "Hey Greg, interested in potentially taking your course." I will reply and say, "Nice to meet you. Thanks for reaching out. Let's set up a Skype call." The Skype call is totally free. I just want to learn more about you, your trading, your trading challenges, your goals. It's a good time to ask me any questions you have about the lesson and the course that I teach. And then after the call, you can think about it as long as you want. And if you decide you want to start up with me, just email me back and we'll get it scheduled. Secondly, I do have a really good video course, online video course over at udemy.com. Where I teach you step-by-step how to trade the deep dip stock trading strategy. I use this all the time. I mean, on that micro strategy, I used it there, 20% gain, used it on Twitter, 12, 14, whatever percent gain. It's a great strategy. And the nice thing is it's very affordable. Over on Udemy, it's somewhere usually between $12 and $15. It's 9.5 hours. It's a long course, and it's has a lot of information in it. 9.5 hours, 26 videos, 15 study guides. So if you're interested, I put the link to that Udemy course in the description of my video here. Just click on it, go over, pick it up, spend the $12-15 and learn a lot. And then lastly, if you like today's podcast, I would appreciate it if you could hit the thumbs up button. It does help to build the channel. It helps to keep the channel around, lets YouTube know that there's some valuable content here. So if you did learn something today, or maybe even last week, if you could just hit the thumbs up button before you head out of here, I would really, really, really appreciate that. All right, so let's head on over and see. So Steve got out of PKI. We're both in PKI, so I want to make sure. All right, so this is Steve here. Well, I don't know if David is still in, so I'm just going to take Steve's name off and leave everything as is. Okay. And I took off SQSP. All right, so now let's put in here UTZ. Steve bought UTZ, which is Utes brand with the rejection of the 200-day moving average. And he bought that at $22.58. All right, there we go. We'll take care of that, Steve. SCCO. Nice day up there. And Steve bought that at $61.52. With an under 30, over 30. And SWKS at 171.04 with the 520 crossover. $171.04. Okay. All right, did I get those right? Okay, so UTZ is Steve. SCCO is also Steve. And SWKS is Steve. Johnson says, aftermarket, could you take a look and see if PDD is double bottom bullish divergence? Yes, it is not. It is not. We have a bottom over here. Let me draw the lines here and show you, Johnson. We have the lines. We have the previous bottom over here. Now we have this bottom. This bottom did not even have any red. This bottom is equal to or lower than this and has more red. So this is not a divergence. This is a convergence. So meaning that this move down was stronger than this move down. So from a bullish perspective, that is not bullish in my opinion. It's the opposite. It's bearish. Gary is out of MSTR. Nice trade, Gary. Oh, you bought True, huh? All right. Yeah, I was looking at that as well. Good risk to reward ratio for sure. I just didn't like the $5 price. Okay, there's Gary and SWKS for Gary as well, along with Steve. Okay, shop. Kamal got out of another third. I'll do it this way. Sold 1/3. Good, I like it. Did turn around a little bit there at the end of the day. And Boeing. Kamal had a nice trade on Boeing, that's for sure. And he bought Boeing today intraday at 240.57. So it looks like right when the V2 triggered. 240.57 for Kamal. All right, I'm gonna make his blue so we can keep them straight. Nice trade, Kamal. Really nice trade. My gosh, that intraday trade, Kamal is already up over 2%, which is pretty sweet. Lily got out of Clorox. Yep. Okay. So we'll take Lilia out of Clorox. Frank says, no trades, staying in cash. Sounds like a good plan, Frank. Gary says, Kamal, great shop trade, 100%. Paxton is out of MSTR. Okay. In SWKS. Okay, good luck to the both of you there. And in Angie. think my charting software just crashed. Shoot. Yep, it did. Okay, so I'm gonna, sorry everybody. Darn it. I have to write these down manually. Otherwise, I'm going to lose everything of what I just put up. Shoot. True. BA. Out of Clorox. MSTR. SWKS. Angie. Ah, that's a shame that it did this. Oh well. I guess that's how it goes. I'll have this all up and ready tomorrow before we start again. So all right, let's see, is anything happening in after hours? Boeing's up a little bit, Caterpillar's up a little bit, MA's up 81 cents, that's good. Silver's down a little bit, SPY's up 39 cents, that's great. And VIX is up 24 cents after hours. Wow. All right, everybody. Well, listen, before I let you go, why don't we read this real quick? If we all do one random act of kindness daily, we just might set the world in the right direction. It's by Martin Kornfeld. It's true, everybody. Let's go out and try to do one nice thing for another human being today. Let's try to go out and do one nice thing for an animal today. Make their day, make your day. And like Martin says, it just might set the world in the right direction. So I always like to leave off with that. My charts are under repair at the moment, so I cannot look at anything, unfortunately. So I'm going to have to save that till next time. But I appreciate you coming today. Have a good rest of your day. Be good, be safe, drive safe. And enjoy the rest of your day. Hope to see you tomorrow during the last hour of the market. Take care, everyone. Bye-bye.
U.S. government required disclaimer. Stock, options, futures, and forex trading is not appropriate for everyone. While there is a potential for large rewards, there is also a substantial risk of loss associated with trading. The material in this video or live broadcast is not geared towards any particular individual or to any particular financial situation and is not intended to meet the particular investment objectives of any viewer. This video or live broadcast, like all instructional materials produced by Gossett Trading and Mentoring LLC, is created and published for informational and educational purposes only. Any and all information contained in, implied, or referenced by this video or live broadcast is not to be construed as investment advice, and no representation is made that any individual or entity involved in production of this video or live broadcast is an investment or financial advisor or is registered or authorized to give any financial advice. We are publishers and educators only. Therefore, the various producers of this video or live broadcast will not accept liability for any loss or damage of any kind which may arise either directly or indirectly out of the use of any of this material, including any loss of profit. No representation is made that any account or investment will or is likely to achieve the profit or losses demonstrated. We recommend consultation with a licensed and qualified professional before making any investment decision. This video or live broadcast is not to be construed as an offer to buy or sell any security, financial instrument, or financial product of any kind. Notice is hereby given that any individual or entity involved in production of this video or live broadcast or their clients may have an interest in any security, financial instrument, or financial product mentioned or referenced. Any simulated or hypothetical performance result depicted does not represent actual trading and therefore may under or overcompensate for the impact of various market factors such as lack of liquidity. Thank you.